What's up, my super foodies? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Tessa Heikam and I am a last year doctorate of pharmacy student as well as a certified personal trainer. And this month I will hopefully be finishing and receiving my nutritional coach certification as well. And then I'll get right into working on my health coaching certification. So as you can see, all things natural remedies, self-care, all these things I absolutely love to talk about, but I do have a Western medicine heart. Today we're probably gonna get a little bit TMI, but who cares? Because we're going to be talking about something that most of the women of this world receive on a monthly basis. That's right, us lady warriors bleed from our vaginas on a monthly basis. We get PMS, we get cramps, we get headaches, fatigue, nausea and vomiting. Some people even get hospitalized. Yes, we're going to be talking all things periods. My passion for natural remedies got me thinking during my last period, and I was like, there's gotta be some better way to deal with this than heating pads and ibuprofen. So I took to natural medicines, I went to PubMed, and did a little bit of research. I have found my personal saving grace, and that is ginger. Today we're going to be discussing a little bit about ginger and its potential to reduce pain from cramps, to help reduce bleeding, and also help with those nasty PMS symptoms. Okay, first of all, because I gotta do it in all my videos that I do research in, let's get some disclaimers out the way. 1, ain't your personal doctor. 2, ain't your personal pharmacist. 3, I ain't got no idea what medications you're on. 4, I ain't got no idea what your chronic diseases are. Talk to your provider, talk to your pharmacist if you think ginger extract or ginger powder is right for you for these conditions. Make sure to talk with them, get their okay, especially if you have chronic diseases. Obviously, if you're curious about dosing, drug interactions, disease interactions, those are all, in my pharmacy brain, and I'll be talking about those at the end of the video. But just make sure, talk to your providers and get their personal okay because they know you and your health best. Ginger has many health claims, from helping with digestion to relieving nausea and vomiting, from anti-inflammatory properties. However, what is its role in that particularly annoying and sometimes painful time of the month? Around 18 million women in the United States suffer from heavy menstrual bleeding, which can cause a whole host of problems, including iron deficiency anemia. This is this fancy word for basically these women bleed so much that the iron in their blood gets depleted, therefore causing their red blood cells not being able to transport oxygen around their body efficiently. This can lead to really bad fatigue and shortness of breath. I am not gonna lie, I'm actually super lucky when it comes to periods. However, I have friends that have been hospitalized because of painful cramps and too much bleeding from their period. I swear, boys in their sex ed class should be forced to strap on some sort of cramp producing simulation so they develop a little bit more empathy for us during these times. Ginger is effective for both reducing pain from cramps and reducing bleeding. One study showed that women went from an average of a half cup of blood per period to a quarter cup. In this study, women took about 1/8 of a teaspoon or 250 milligrams of ginger root powder starting the day before their period and then followed it 4 days during their cycle. However, this study was done in only healthy, younger women, so it can't be necessarily generalizable to those who are a little bit older or have any chronic diseases. With all that blood coming out, it's gotta be painful, right? Yeah, it is. So how can ginger help with that? Clinical research shows that ginger can help reduce pain in women who have cramps. Taking about 500 to 200 milligrams a day for 3 to 4 days at the beginning of your period seem to decrease the pain associated with cramps about 1.4 to 3.9 points out of 10 points. So for example, let's say your pain is at like a 7. It can decrease all the way down to a 3 out of a 10 instead of a 7 out of 10. A meta-analysis, which is basically the fancy word of reviewing a bunch of scientific literature, showed that ginger on average reduced pain symptoms on that scale of 1 to 10 about 2.3 to 2.6. So why does this matter? It's not like we're just taking nothing for any of these pains. You know, we take medications or other natural remedies. How does ginger compare to something like ibuprofen, Advil? Taking ginger extract around 250 milligrams seemed to reduce the pain associated with cramps similar to the amount of ibuprofen. There was another study comparing ginger and a medication that included caffeine, ibuprofen, and acetaminophen in it. 200 milligrams of ginger taken 3 to 4 days long also had similar effects of that medication. Okay, so it reduces bleeding, it reduces pain, but what about the fact that I just want to rip some people's faces off during my period? Well, ginger has got you there too, girl. Ginger may also help with PMS symptoms. In one study, an eighth of a teaspoon of ginger twice daily for the week before one's period significantly reduced the amount of PMS mood, physical, and behavioral symptoms. There are other dietary and natural remedies for this, so if you want me to do a dedicated video about PMS symptoms and relieving that naturally, put it down in the comments or shoot me a DM on Instagram at the Superfood Pharmacist. Bottom line, ginger is cheap, it's easy to use, and probably has less side effects than all the other medications that we're taking for these symptoms. Now I went over a lot of information, and if you want the specific dosings and looking at the research by yourself, everything is linked down below in the description. But also remember that disclaimer? Yeah, talk to your provider before you use it. As you guys know, I love using whole foods instead of dietary supplements whenever possible. I'd rather just grate some ginger and use that instead of taking a capsule of ginger extract. However, I know it's a little bit hard to dose, and because of these studies have very specific dosing, I did go over to Natural Medicines and look at their effectiveness checker, which basically has a whole list of a bunch of ginger products and rates them on a scale of 0 to 10 based on safety, efficacy, purity, all of the things like that. And I found 2 companies that produced a 250 milligram supplement that got a rating of an 8. There was nothing that was higher than that, so that's kind of what I'm going with. The first one was by BioVia, I think it's pronounced, and then the second one is Nature's Blend. But once again, whole foods over supplements. Also, being a pharmacy student, I want to talk a little bit about drug interactions and disease interactions because it's just always in the back of my mind. All the things that I'm going to be talking about are on the rare side, but I do think there's a couple that are important to note. Since ginger has anti-inflammatory and antiplatelet effects, those taking antiplatelet or anticoagulation medications can have an increased risk for bleeding. Aspirin on a daily basis, warfarin, Xarelto, Lovenox. Ginger can also increase levels of insulin and decrease levels of blood glucose. So those taking diabetic medications really need to watch their blood sugars carefully if you decide to supplement with ginger because of the risk of hypoglycemia, which is basically the fancy word for low blood sugar. The last medication interaction I want to talk about is those of the calcium channel blockers, specifically nifedipine, amlodipine, diltiazem, and verapamil. Since ginger has a little bit of properties to lower blood pressure in combination with these medications, it can cause severe low blood pressure, which can cause dizziness and increase your risk for falling. It can also worsen heart failure due to these properties. So please, 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 if you have a chronic disease, make sure you're talking to your doctor. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that it can help some of you with some of your period symptoms, because Lord knows we are not getting rid of that period anytime soon. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you like this sort of content, I do this more often and a little bit less in depth on my Instagram page at the Superfood pharmacist. I have a bunch of tips for you guys, natural remedies, and because I'm a personal trainer, I have a little bit more of exercise and healthy lifestyle habits on there as well. If you are a foodie at heart, love those natural remedies and living that hashtag holistic lifestyle, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, make sure to put them in the comments, shoot me a DM. I would love to be a resource for you guys. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.